Hello, lovely people. We are back with chapter 22 in Luke. We are in Luke 22. The topic is Judas agrees to betray Jesus. Here we go. Now, the festival of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching, and the chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some ways to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. Then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot, one of the 12, and Judas went to the chief priests and Judas went to the chief priests and the officers of the temple guard and discussed with them how he might betray Jesus. They were delighted and agreed to give him money. He consented and watched for the opportunity to hand Jesus over to them when no crowd was present. Then came the day of the unleavened bread. Then the day of the unleavened bread, on which the Passover lamb, had to be sacrificed. Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, "Go and make preparations for us to eat the Passover. Where do you want us to prepare? Where do you want us to prepare for it?" they asked. He replied, "As you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house that he enters, and say to the owner of the house, 'The teacher asks, where is the guest room, where I may eat the Passover with my disciples?' He will show you a large room upstairs, all furnished. Make preparations there." They left and found things just as Jesus told them. So they prepared the Passover. When the hour came, Jesus and his disciples reclined at the table, and he said to them, "I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God." After taking the cup, he gave thanks and said, "Take this, and he divided among you. For I tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God has come." And he took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, and saying, "This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, "This is the new covenant of my blood, which is poured out for you. But the hand of him who is going to betray me with mine, but the hand of him who is going to betray me is with mine on the table, is with my hand on the table. The Son of Man will go as it has been decreed, but woe to the man who betrays him." They began to question him and among themselves which of them it might be who would do this. A dispute also arose among them as to which of them was considered to be the greatest. Jesus said to them, "The King of the Gentiles lord over them, and those who exercise authority over them call themselves benefactors. But you are not to be like that. Instead, the greatest among you shall be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. For who is greater, the one who is at the table or the one who serves? It is not the one who is at the table, but I am among you as one who serves. You are those who have stood by me in my trials, and I confirm on you the kingdom, just as my Father conferred one on me, so that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on thrones judging the 12 disciples of Israel. Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat, but I have prayed for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail. And when you have turned back, strengthen your brothers. But he replied, Lord, am I ready to go with you to prison? I'm sorry, I apologize. But he replied, Simon, he replied, Lord, I am ready to go with you to prison and to death. Jesus answered, I tell you, Peter, before the rooster crows today, you will deny me three times that you know me. When Jesus asked him, when I sent you without purse, bag, sandals, you did not lack anything. Nothing, they answered. He said to them, but now if you have a purse, take it. If you have a bag, also take it. And if you don't have a sword, sell a cloak and buy one. It is written, and he was numbered with the transgression, and I tell you that this must be fulfilled in me. Yes, what it is written about me is what is written about me is reaching its fulfillment. The disciples said, see, Lord, here are 2 swords. That's not enough, he replied. Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed him. On reaching the place, he said to them, pray that you will not fall into temptation. He withdrew about a stone throw beyond them, kneeled down and prayed, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but your will be done. An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him, and being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. When he arose, when he arose from praying and went back to the disciples, he found them asleep, exhausted from sorrow. Why are you sleeping? He asked them. Get up and pray that you will not fall into temptation. While he was still speaking, the crowd came up, and a man who was calling Judas, one of the 12, was leading them. He approached Jesus and kissed him. But Jesus asked him, Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? When Jesus' followers saw what was going on and happening, they said, Lord, should we strike with our swords? And one of them struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. But Jesus answered, no more of this. And he touched the man's ear and healed him. Then Jesus said to the chief priests and the officers of the temple guard and the elders who came for him, I am leading a rebellion that you have come with. Am I leading a rebellion that you should come with swords and clubs? Every day I have been with you in the temple courts, and you did not lay a hand on me. But this is your hour when your darkness reigns. Then seizing him, they led him away and took him to the house of the high priest. Peter followed at a distance, and when some of their hand had kindled the fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat down there, Peter sat down with them. A servant girl saw him seated there in the fire lit light. She looked closely at him and said to him, this man was with him. But he denied it. Woman, don't you know him? He asked. A little later, someone else saw him, said, you also are one of them. Man, I'm not, Peter said. But about the third hour later, another associate, certainly this fellow was with him, for he is a Galilean. Peter replied, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Just as he was speaking, a rooster crowed. The Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. And Peter remembered the words of the Lord was spoken to him. Before the rooster crowed today, you will disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. When the men who were guarding Jesus began mocking and beating him, they blindfolded him and demands prophecy. Who hit you? And they said many others insulting things to him. At daybreak, the council of the elders of the people, both the chief priests and the teachers of the law, met together, and Jesus was led before them. If you are the Messiah, they said, tell us. Jesus answered, if I tell you, you will not believe me. And if I ask you, you will not answer. But From now on, the Son of Man will be seated at the right hand of the mighty God. They all asked, "Are you the Son of God?" He replied, "You say that I am." Then they said, "Why do you need any more testimonies? They have heard it from his lips." 21.